All right.
So we were at the point where
Yeah.
it exploded.
It exploded, and you said you were.
I'm sleeping on a pull-out couch with her,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm living at her mother's house with her and her mother and her brother, and I just want it like I just want the feelings to stop. The drugs aren't working. The grief and the sorrow is just washing over me. And I remember every night I would go to the kitchen and I'd grab a knife and I'd sit there, contemplate cutting my wrists, and I'm sitting right next to her. And I thought if I just felt my feelings hard enough, she would wake up and realize the pain that I was in. Because like I said, I didn't learn how to express my feelings. And that never happened. And I never ended up, cutting my wrists.
Well, obviously you're here.
Obviously.
I'm happy you didn't too.
Me too. But I remember burying that feeling. And just wanted to die, and I'd never tell anyone about it.
Okay.
Ended up getting an apartment with her. And I mean, this was only through the grace of my mother. She thinks that I'm doing good, better than I was. Got an apartment, and I mean, I lived dirty. Dirty. I'm living clean today.
Definitely are.
Much better than I was, I promise you that. The kitchen at my apartment, when I moved in, we didn't take trash out for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
The kitchen was piled with trash bags. Rarely ever did laundry. The bedroom was just strewn, like the whole floor was just covered.
So
in
you
dirty
and your
clothes.
partner were using.
Oh yeah.
Let me not say partner. You and your girlfriend.
Yes.
If I say partner, I don't want people to, Don't laugh. I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but if that's it, I don't want them to get the wrong idea.
No, we're using together.
Okay.
We're using as much as we can. 6 months we didn't clean that apartment.
Those hoarders.
It was disgusting, and we're moving in roommates here and there to help pay for drugs. That's what their share of the rent went towards, and I caught charges, petty charges throughout my life. And
So you never been to prison or anything?
No, I'm too pretty.
Just a little bit of Marcy's
right,
choice?
Right, I'm not a big dude. I'm too
That's
pretty.
Frederick County
Right,
Jail, by the way.
exactly. Only a few hours, too.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
I mean, I don't know why they let me out, but they did. They were like,
He said, I'm a pretty guy, prison ain't.
So,
Come on.
So, caught some petty charges here, petty charges there. Stayed with her for 5 years.
In squalor, basically.
In squalor. We cleaned up a little bit. After 6 months, we got the trash out of there. But by the time we moved out, the house that I live in now was actually a pre-wedding present. Obviously, I'm not married, so that didn't happen. But that was the plan. I don't know why I ever thought I was about to get married. Like, I couldn't even, get a bank account and, keep any money in there. But
And how many years ago from today was this?
Oh, well, I'm 31.
Okay. So it was a while.
I'm 31, and I think I moved in here in 2010. So it's been 9 years since I moved here.
Okay.
And I was living, the apartment that we were living in, low-income housing, kind of. Not the greatest part of town. Gang activity, shootings, lots of drugs. And moving out here, I was like, okay, well, maybe a change of pace will help me get clean, right? And that, obviously did not work. We moved in here, and, her and I stayed together for 5 years.
In this place here?
In total.
Okay.
In total. Can't remember the exact year we broke up. But, by the time we were about to get ready to get married, she had cheated on me, and she left. And I remember being here, and I had some money put away. And the only way I'd had it put away was I gave it to my mother. And I told my mother what was going on at this point. At this point, I was using regardless of any consequences. I didn't care who knew, even her. And I told her that I was going to kill myself unless she gave me the money that, she had in an account for me. At this point, I'm using Opana. And Opana is oxymorphone. Much stronger than heroin, much stronger than, Percocet, oxycodone. And I'm using about 340 milligram Opanas a day. I have no idea how I didn't die. I don't know how I'm still here. But every day my mother, for a week, every day my mother brought me, I think it was either between $150 and $200, so I could use as much as I could use. I remember at the end of that week, she left a note in my car with the last amount of money in it that she would give me, and she said, "Patrick, I can't give you any more money. I can't imagine the pain, I can't imagine the kind of pain that you're in, knowing only about my own here, but I can't help you. But if you want to get help, I'll do whatever I can." And so I tried a drug replacement therapy. Because in my mind, I thought this one substance was my problem. So I went on drug replacement therapy for about a year, and I'm using other substances. I'm taking Suboxone, using other substances, saying, well, this one drug's my problem. And I was able to find a little bit of manageability in my life. I was able to hold down a job, be a little more responsible. But after that year, I thought, okay, well, I've been doing this for about a year. I can manage this now. I can get off of this, and it'll be fine. I'll just use within reason, which I don't know what within reason is. But
well, what's the reason for me and what's the reason for you are two different things, totally different. Right, I got you.
So I kick off the Suboxone, and I'm drinking in order to get off that. Very shortly after, I meet another girl, and I'm right back to it. Like, I never stopped.
You just started using again so women were like your trigger for
Well,
drugs?
I don't know that they were my trigger, but they were definitely my bankers. Definitely my bankers.
Pimp.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know about that.
You look like you was getting sad. I had to throw a joke in there. Come on.
I don't know about that. But, because I could never hold down a really good job, the women that I was with, they would make all right money. Mm-hmm. And, although we always had money to use, we didn't always have money to eat. I remember when I'm living in squalor, I promised you Cheddar Bob.
Yeah, I want that, but I want to get. I want you to end it off with that because I really want you.
Off with Cheddar Bob.
I like when I do these interviews, I want it to be like experience, strength, and hope.
You got it.
And you're giving me a little experience. Then we're gonna jump into the strength, and then the hope. And you're smiling the whole time, so I'm thinking we can the hope is like all through the whole thing, which is awesome.
It is. I'm not living like that anymore. I live a life beyond my wildest dreams now.
Nice. Okay, so you got a new girl, right?
Right.
And you guys are using together.
Right.
Okay.
So, like I said, and in all of my relationships, I'd always have money to use. We would have money to use, and I would have no money to eat. When I'm living in squalor, I remember all I ate for 2 months was Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's it. That's it.
All right. What are Cheddar Bay biscuits?
Cheddar Bay biscuits, those little biscuits you get in the basket at Red Lobster.
Okay.
All right. She was working at Red Lobster, and every night at closing, she'd bring back a 1-gallon bag of Cheddar Bay biscuits. And that's what I survived on for like 2 months. That's all I would eat. Either that or maybe a slice of pizza at work.
That's reminding me of the Boondocks.
Man,
where are my Cheddar biscuits at?
I'm telling you, I can't even stand the smell of Cheddar Bay biscuits anymore.
Okay.
I think I've probably been to Red Lobster like twice since I got into recovery. But, with the new girl, new banker.
Okay.
Because I didn't really know how to be in a relationship.
So the new banker.
New banker, and, I got caught. I got caught for the last time. This was probably after 2 years being with her. We got caught. So I showed up at a department store, and we started stealing stuff. I had money to buy stuff, but the thrill.
The money is for something else.
Right, the money's for something else.
Gotcha.
But the thrill of stealing and got caught. You know, theft prevention, they tend to frown upon the fact that you take like $300 worth of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
you have like really great dark comedy. If you wasn't listening closely to what you were saying, you would have missed that. That was a nice little joke thrown in there. I like that, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, you know, theft prevention, they catch us, and I catch my last charge.
Okay.
Catch my last charge. And the one I had caught before that, I remember the commissioner telling me when he let me out, he goes, you know, Patrick, if you ever come back here, you're not leaving. You know, I'm holding you till your court date and your sentencing. And so I'm terrified. I'm terrified because, like I said, I'm way too pretty for jail. All right, and I ain't built like that. I am not built like that. I'm not a tough guy. As much as I like to think that I'm a tough guy, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm terrified, and I'm like, oh my God, what can I do to look good for these courts? Like, you know, luckily they didn't take me to Marcy's to process me because I wouldn't have been able to leave. They just charged me in the mail and I had to show up. So I went back on replacement therapy because I'm like, oh, well, they got to give that to me if I go to jail. I found out later that's not true. They don't have to give that to you.
Mm.
So I got back on replacement therapy, and this time was different. Something was different. I got on the replacement therapy, and they gave me a choice. They didn't give me a choice the last time. They said, you got to go to private counseling the last time. This time they said, you can go to private counseling and pay for that yourself, or you can go to a self-help group, a 12-step group.
Mm.
And, you know, we'll continue to allow you to take this maintenance drug. And, you know, like any good addict, I don't like to pay money, right? One, because I don't really have any money. I got fired from a job because they found out my record, so I'm not really working. And I'm like, man, you know, I got to, you know, okay, well, let me do the free thing. Free thing sounds good. I can show up early. I can show up late, leave early. I ain't got to talk to nobody. I don't even know if I had a slip that needed to be signed. I think they just took me at my word.
Nice.
Just crazy. I wouldn't take me at my word then. Certainly wouldn't.
Certainly wouldn't. Okay.
Certainly wouldn't. So I started going to these self-help groups. I started showing up, and you know, I don't remember the first meeting that I went to. I remember where it was. I remember walking in the door, but that's all I remember.
Okay.
But I remember that I brought a notebook with me. I always had like a little spiral notebook and a pen because for some reason I thought there was going to be a test. And I started writing down the things that these members were saying. Like, just don't use no matter what. It gets greater later.
Mm.
You know, these weird little slogans. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to sound good. Like, because, you know, at these meetings, they encourage you to share and to listen and, you know, talk about where you're at. And
so you wanted to be well-versed in sloganese.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's what they call it, sloganese.
Sloganese, yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to sound good.
Okay.
Because I'm here for her. Because we both going.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We both got caught. We both get on the replacement therapy. And I'm going for her. Right? Because, you know, I'm going for her in my mind. And, you know, I just wanted to look good. I wanted to sound good. I wanted people to think that I had all my stuff together. They obviously knew I had nothing together.
Keep coming back, right?
Right. Keep coming back, man. We love you,
Patrick.
Right. Like grown men started hugging me.
How'd that make you feel like the first time a grown man just hugged you?
Like every fiber of my being just cringed.
It weirded you out a little bit?
I was like, what is happening?
Okay.
These are strangers. Right? Like, I don't even like hugging my family.
I don't like being touched either, I understand.
My mother, an amazing woman, right? But growing up, you know, I didn't hear I love you a whole lot. She knew how to show it. Without a doubt.
What's the same?
Saying it, right. So, and having grown men tell me that they love me, and it was, like, I was like, what is happening here? But I kept hearing things like, you know, get somebody to sponsor you. I'm like, okay, well, I don't really know what that is, but okay. And I remember the last time I was on my way to buy drugs, I was going to buy them for both her and I, still doing the maintenance therapy, and something in me just changed. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't I became unacceptable to myself.
So you started not liking you.
I started not liking me. I started not liking the dynamic of the relationship. I started not liking the fact that I had no one. I had no one. And I just wanted something different. And I had a sponsor at this point. He was just like, call me every day. And I did. And
When you call him, what do you talk about?
I have no idea what I talked to him about. At
Back
that point,
then,
at that point, I'm not really there.
Okay.
I'm not.
Gotcha.
I have not woken up yet. Really, I couldn't really put two sentences together. So probably like, hey man, I went to a meeting, and that's it.
Okay.
But I called him at that point, and I made him and I made a plan. He gave me a lot of hope, and he gave me a plan in order to get off all the substances, even the replacement therapy. And that's what I did. That's what I did, and that's where that's where my recovery journey really started.
Okay.
It wasn't great automatically. In order to get clean, I knew I had to leave her, because she wasn't ready yet. That was, one, that was terrifying. Two, I'm losing like one of the only constants in my life, but I knew it had to be done. So the day I got clean was the day she left. And all I knew what to do was to just go to meetings. And I'm going to like 3 meetings a day. I didn't have no job. I didn't have no responsibilities. My bills are being taken care of for me at this point. I got a little hoopty. Right? It's a 94 Ford Escort. It's spray painted black.
Uh-huh.
And air conditioning don't work. Heat doesn't work. One of the speakers works in
Nice.
there.
I remember.
But yeah, man. But it got me to a lot of meetings. And I started getting connected with people. Not all the right people, but I started getting connected with people in this 12-step fellowship. And they started giving me suggestions. Work some steps, 12-step programs. They offer, steps to work in order to better your life.
Okay.
To move from a life that's very self-centered to a life that's selfless.
Okay.
And I didn't, I didn't know how to do that at all. I didn't know how to do that. It was all, take. I started, I got back into a relationship shortly after getting into recovery.
She was clean though, like this was a square?
No.
She wasn't a square, she was just
No.
addict,
Using addict.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm staying clean and I'm dating a using addict.
Good guys like bad girls.
Right, exactly.
I got you.
Exactly. I still got a broken picker. I do. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Broken picker.
Broken picker. No. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She just came home from prison.
Right.
She's the one.
Yes.
Gotcha. Come on.
So, she had a son, and basically she would go to work, and I would stay home and watch her son, and I would bring him to meetings with me. And I'd go to a bunch of meetings, and I started working some steps, and life started getting better. It got better to the point where I knew that I couldn't stay with her either. After about a year, I knew the relationship had.
Was that a suggestion from like your sponsor
No.
saying, hey, or you just?
Oh no.
Or you were just reading the steps, and it was like, hold up, okay, so this gotta go. Like how did that happen? Because I know it wasn't like, was it like a spiritual V8? Like you said, oh, I had a V8, and she has to roll out.
Right, kind of.
Okay.
I mean, my sponsor was like, hey man, do it till it hurts. Do it till it hurts. I have never changed anything in my life, like a big change like that, until it's super painful.
Oh, so he said do it to her. So when the pain got rough, you... Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's always my jumping off point.
All right.
When the situation or I become unacceptable to me, that's when I know I got to do something different. And I left her, and I started working. I got the first kind of recovery job because I had huge gaps in my employment history. Right. There were places that allowed me to work for them. I started working for Goodwill, man. They let me work at their warehouse. Gave me a job. It was what I needed. It was what I needed at the time because I didn't really know how to manage money. I didn't know, I had to set up a bank account. Like, people started giving me bank accounts again. learned how to start paying some bills, and got into another relationship.
Bad girl?
I got
Another
an
bad
issue
girl?
with relationships.
Another bad girl?
No, just someone new in recovery.
Okay.
And
13th step.
well, I don't. Yeah. My life's unmanageable. I'd like to share that with you. 1 plus 12. Right.
Come on. Go on. Go ahead, Pat.
So there is something beautiful that came out of that relationship. Even though the relationship didn't last, I became a father in recovery.
Okay.
I got a son. He's 3 now, and as a result of recovery, I'm able to be a present father in his life. But I had a kid, terrified, and these self-help groups, what they did was they surrounded me, and they gave me experience, strength, and hope. Because a lot of the things that I was going through, I had never gone through before. Like, I didn't know how to be a father. I didn't know how to hold down a job clean. I didn't know how to pay bills. I didn't know how to fold my laundry and put it away. I didn't know how to wash my dishes,
I still don't know
But
how to
man,
do that.
I'm telling you, throw all the dishes away because they've been sitting there too long. Crazy stuff like that. I didn't know how to open up. I didn't know how to be intimate with other people.
Okay.
Not in a sexual way, but in an emotional way. And what people started doing was they started teaching me how to love, how to care, how to talk about how I felt, how to have some commitment and show up. I did a lot of service work early on. I got really involved in these 12-step fellowships.
Like, what do you mean when you got involved? Like, you were setting up meetings?
Setting up
what
meetings,
else?
making coffee,
Okay.
greeting people as they came in.
I heard that the greeting thing, well, I know that the greeting thing is good because you meet so many people.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Speaker seeking, go into a lot of different meetings outside your area and bring them in. And so I got involved in service, and I started feeling better about me because I felt like crap about me my whole life. I started building some self-esteem and some self-worth. And I started wanting better for myself and better for myself. And I remember when my son was about to be born, I got a different job, working for some people in recovery, doing scrap, making pretty good money, man. They gave me a shot, man.
What's that doing? Scrap, like
okay, I was
collecting copper and stuff?
Copper, wire.
Okay.
My job was I was a purchasing agent.
Oh, okay.
And I would go out in a box truck, and I would go buy scrap metal from companies, and I would sell our services. And I was good at it. I was good at it. But I hated being away from home. I did that for a couple of years.
And you're still clean. So at this time, you're clean like what, 2-3 years?
I think I got that job when I was a little over a year. A little over 3 years, I think I left that job.
Okay.
And money was great, but I hated being away from home. The things that were really important started coming to light. Spending time at home. Sometimes I learned that happiness was more important than money. I might not have all the things that I want, but I had all the things that I needed, right? So I got a new job. Every job that I've gotten in recovery has been handed to me. Handed to me. Basically just because I started doing the right thing for the right reason. This was the job that I fought. I fought this one. I really didn't want it. The one that I'm at now, being a counselor tech at night.
Okay, your counselor job now. So now you're a counselor, and it was handed to you. Hey, why don't you come work
Absolutely.
Here? Okay.
On a plate. I knew somebody who worked there.
Shout out to whoever gave him the job.
Right, exactly. I
probably know this person.
Probably. I did not want it. I was like, oh my God, so cliche. Someone in recovery a few years going to work at a rehab, right? I started getting a connection, spiritual, through working these steps, and I prayed. I was like, higher power, I don't want to be at the job that I'm at anymore. I want to do something that I feel good about, that I can come home every night and
sleep with a clear conscience.
Sleep with a clear conscience, can help people. Oh, but not that one. Anyone but that one. And I fought it for a little bit, went on a couple other interviews, and finally I was like, okay, let me at least just go on the interview and see how it is. And I sat down, to do the interview at the place that I work now, and I knew it was it. I knew that was it. I felt at home immediately. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years is, nighttime counseling.
I think that's the time when I met you.
That's exactly when you met me.
Okay.
Right. And I started really giving back. I felt the more that I gave back, the more that I got to bring home. I got a greater sense of self-confidence, a greater sense of self-esteem. Felt better about me.
So like right now, present day time, like how does you feel like during the day? Do you feel like you need things or like the hope, like what is it? Like to make you keep going, trudging the road of happy destiny, so to speak.
What got me here is what keeps me here.
Shh. 5 more minutes.
What got me here isn't what keeps me here.
Okay.
What got me here was I was really desperate.
Give us 1 second.
1 second.
1 second. Really quick. So what I got is now helping other people fulfills you. Like you have a purpose now. Like so
Absolutely.
You basically have a purpose, so that makes you don't want to do anything.
An end to loneliness and a sense of purpose and direction.
Are you still seeking women?
No, right now I'm actually just, I might as well be a monk. I know. I go to the gym, I go to work, I take care of my kid, I come home.
And chill with your puppy.
Chill with my dog.
She's a girl.
I know she is. She a handful too. Obviously, we heard her barking through the whole video.
Yeah.
Right. So I should have known how powerless I was at this point and how unmanageable my life had become at this point, but I didn't. I'm living in squalor in my apartment. And we'll call him Cheddar Bob.
Cheddar Bob.
Cheddar Bob.
All right. Okay, guys, just for you know, this is the Cheddar Bob story. Go
Cheddar
ahead.
Bob story. It's been hyped a lot. So, I'm sitting at my kitchen table, me and my roommates and a dealer. Dealer, we're going to call him Cheddar Bob. And we're all using. I think we're doing some pills, we got weed, we're drinking, whatever it is. I think we probably got acid in the freezer. And the dealer stands up, and he said, "Hey, man, I got to go to the bathroom." I said, "All right, cool." Now, I would always let him store his drugs at my house so I could get some for free. And he walks in the bathroom, and sitting there, I'm doing a line, and all of a sudden I hear a gunshot from my bathroom. And me and my roommate, we look at each other, and we think he shot our dog. That's immediately, we're like, did he just shoot the dog? We knew he hated the dog. And I knew that he always had a revolver, but I told him not to bring it to my house. So he comes flying out of the bathroom, screaming, "I'm hit! I'm hit!" And I'm like, "Oh God, where? Like, what's going on?" I'm all high, I'm geeked out, I'm like, "What's happening?" And he's like, I don't know, man, I'm hit. And he drops to the ground, like, he's like, "No, I think I'm fine." "Oh no, I'm hit." And he drops to the ground and picks his foot up, and he had shot himself through his boot. He had a little he had like a little .32 revolver, and when he had undone his belt, he undid his belt buckle. The revolver slid down his pant leg. Hammer came back and shot him through his boot. And he's sitting there on the ground, and we're pulling the boot off his foot, and he's bleeding all over my carpet. Pull his sock off. The bullet had gone in and out. It went in the fatty part under his foot and out the side. And it didn't hit any tendons or bones. And we're checking it out, and I think we got vodka out of the freezer, and we poured vodka on his foot, grabbed a towel out of the closet, tied his foot with a towel. Didn't take him to the hospital. He didn't want to go to the hospital. And we sat down and continued to do drugs for the rest of the night.
And he didn't go to the hospital or anything?
I think he went to the doctor the next day and got it stitched up, and he's walking around on crutches. But, I messed with him forever after that. He was forever Cheddar Bob after that. But, yeah, situations like that didn't let me know that I had a problem. And I feel like I probably should have. Yeah. Usually people don't shoot themselves in your bathroom while you're doing a bunch of drugs in your house.
And then keep getting high.
Keep getting high. Party doesn't stop for nothing.
Okay.
Unless somebody's dead, party ain't stopping.
Do you have a message for anybody that's watching this? Because you never know, man. One or two people might watch it. You got anything you want to say to them?
It doesn't matter how far down you've gone. It doesn't matter if the consequences haven't gotten in your mind super bad yet. If you don't think that, if you feel like you're beyond hope, you're not. anybody can get recovery. Especially if somebody as crazy as me can find a new way to live, you can too. You don't have to overdose. You don't have to, have all your friends die. You don't have to lose your jobs. You don't have to get, in a horrible car accident. It doesn't have to get to that. You can do it. You're worth it. Your life is worth it, and it has meaning. You're here for a reason. A lot of people out there are dying in droves. This entire generation is dying. There's the fentanyl out there on the streets. They put it in cocaine, weed, heroin now. THC cartridges. You're worth it. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a break. Any path to recovery. Do whatever you can because we need you.
Hey man, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And just share this. I'm going to share this story everywhere I can. You share it everywhere you can. And yeah, there's definitely a way up and out of this thing, huh?
There is.
No doubt. Thanks again, Patrick. And I think that's a wrap.
Nice.
Nice.